Good morning and welcome to The View. Our guest today will be the lovely Egyptian pharaoh Hatshepsut, who ruled from 1479 to 1458 BC. She'll be here today plugging her new consulting firm, Raw Genius, and giving us some insight into her past success, so pretty excited.
Yes, and she's joined by her most trusted advisor, Senenmut.
Most trusted advisor.
Yeah, there's plenty of controversy there, but even more controversial issue is her right to rule and her decision to depict herself as a man.
Yes, lots of juicy stuff today. Well, why don't we go ahead and bring her out? Here she is, the king, the queen, the pharaoh, and Matkare all in one. Hatshepsut.
Welcome, Hatshepsut and Senenmut.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. It's very good to be here. Since there's so much to ask, Senenmut will also speak freely.
We're so glad to have you here today, Hattie. Now, one of the most obvious questions I think that we want answered, along with our viewers, is why did you choose to depict yourself as a man? You're very obviously a woman, and as a woman, how did you know that you had the capacity to rule the nation, since this was usually done by men?
Okay, well, I was never unsure of myself. Confidence is the first key to my success, so it mattered very little if I was depicted as a man or a woman. I was to become God to all of my people. My vision was to peacefully expand the nation through commerce and to leave my mark for future generations. All of my efforts revolved around that vision, so I never strayed from any objective that helped us reach that goal. As far as my capacity to rule, before I alone became pharaoh, there was unrest in the nation, there were threats made to the throne, and they required swift and exact attention. Kingship is in my blood. I was raised by Tutmos I. Tutmos II is my brother. So we were raised by our father and groomed into kingship.
And as far as the beard goes, the people and the priests expected a man. So slap on a beard and voila, you got a man. It was really funny actually to see her giving a speech to the people with this fake beard flapping around and the king barely moving her lips.
And the people accepted that, huh? But you talked about threats being made.
The threat in Nubia was quickly dealt with and much to our advantage, although you won't find much information on this victory since that is not the way our king chose to be remembered, and Thutmose.
How did you want to be remembered? Is that why there were so many structures and monuments built during your reign? Like, let's say, for example, the one in Deir ul-Bahri?
Well, I built to make my country a better place for my people. I also built in honor of my parents and in honor of the gods Osiris and Sekhmet.
And we also restored many temples and sanctuaries.
Yes, but of equal importance was to be remembered for economic ventures. The most notable in 1480 was the expedition to Punt. Now, you can take through warfare, but by allowing neighbors to keep their dignity and not engaging in military action, they become receptive to share the best of their lands through trade. The most important aspect of my foreign relations campaign are grace and statesmanship, rather than brute force and savagery.
So how did you remain in power for so long, and how did your officials view you?
A most important key to my success was the loyalty of my government officials. A king without a loyal court is just a man, or woman in my case, and I hand-chose my officials. There was my advisor, Vizier, and the prophet Amun, but the most worthy of them is Senenmut, who became the overseer of all of my royal works.
But even you two cut ties at one point, didn't you?
Right, and then you just disappeared.
Well, history doesn't tell the whole story, no. But eventually my reign came to an end, and my disappearance and death and burial, they're all shrouded in mystery, and they'll remain so.
Oh, come on, Queenie. Were you assassinated? What happened?
I choked on a bonbon, okay? No fanfare, no drama, no mystery.
That's quite possible. She always craves those sweet cakes and the dried fruits.
And, you know, it's true. We did have a falling out for a time, Senenmut and I, but as a strong leader, you have to be in tune with your subjects' perceptions and respond accordingly. You have to attack the meat and marrow of the issue itself and rebuild on your knowledge. This is true of any relationship, whether it's leading a nation or a tribe of your own offspring.
That sounds like a slogan if you ask me.
Yes, I agree. Well, we've got to wrap up here today. Senenmut, Hattie, is there anything else you would like to share with us about Raw Genius?
At Raw Genius, we're applying historical success to modern-day issues. The impediments that plague you need not paralyze growth in your nation, your business, or your family. With proper leadership and wisdom, these can all be transformed.
Well, that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you for joining us on The View, and we'll see you next week.
Till next time.